Coach Deborah has a passion and purpose to assist young men, ages 15 to 24, to overcome obstacles and build their best lives. She wants to see every young man live out their potential. She has a master's degree in human services counseling, with a major in life coaching. More importantly, she is the mother of 3 boys, who are exceptional, educated, professional men. Coach Deborah believes it is better to train early, rather than need to fix later. She utilizes basic principles and God-led concepts. Sometimes the only thing a young man has is their credibility or their name. The actions they take are based on the decisions they make. Those decisions align with their choices and result in consequences. Coach Deborah can assist you if you are lost, floundering, or confused. Embrace the help and start building your best life today.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Saturday's Morning Reel. I hope that you enjoy what we have in store for you this morning. But thank you so much for tuning in. We also thank you for your prayers, your comments, your shares. They make a difference in what we do here, because we need this content to get all over the world. And what better way to do that than if you would share. So thank you so much for doing that. You know, this year it's all about Blueprint for Success. And so all of our guests, all of the topics that we have are all leaning into constructing that blueprint for success. Each month we have a different theme. And although this platform, our niche is to teach young men how to take those things that they have, make a plan, build their best lives. When they run into obstacles, to know that they can overcome those obstacles to build their best lives. And then also to encourage all the single mothers out there who are striving to assist their sons in building their best lives. You know, when you're trying to do something and do it to the best of your ability, you have all things coming towards you and at you, and you need something. Sometimes you need that encouragement. So we encourage our moms. But this month we wanted to talk about blueprint for being a great father, blueprint to being a great father, because fathers have those things in their toolbox that only they can teach their sons. You know, moms can do so much, but there are some things that only men know and only men can teach. So we do attempt to have all types of experts, mentors, coaches, people from different professions coming on here to teach relevant, knowledgeable, expert information to assist our young men. But we don't diminish the need for fathers at all. So we hope we have a great topic for you today. And hey, we've made it all the way through the month of June, and this is our last topic for June. So what would be more appropriate than full circle? Full circle. So that is the topic for today. Good morning. If you have just joined us, Saturday Morning Real, like, comment, and share. And we are talking about full circle. So everyone knows what a full circle is. That means that it goes from one end to the other. There is no beginning and no end. So this month we have taught a lot of different dynamics relating to being that great father, utilizing the tools, the skills, and abilities that you have to assist your sons and being better. And one of those things is that, you need to teach your sons because they need to be taught. But more importantly, you need to demonstrate the lessons that you have told them. I'm going to say that again. They need the information from the lessons that you will teach them throughout their lives. However, they need to see you demonstrate those lessons. People change. The times change, and the generations today, they listen, they will be respectful, but they do so much better by what they see demonstrated than rather what they are told. So make sure, as we talk about this full circle, that you are practicing what you preach. That's what it's all about. So I'm just going to go over some of the things that I think that are essential, and to make sure that we remember the things that we talked about this month and other things that will help you to fill up that success toolbox for your sons. The first one is show them no one is perfect. Sometimes because we see that potential in our sons and our daughters, we want to push them. And sometimes the pushing that we may do more harm than good, because we make them feel like no matter what they do, it's not good enough. And that should not be the intention at all. It's that if you are an A student and as a parent, you're seeing B and C work, you know that they can do better. But how we attempt to get that better out of them is what is key. So we don't want them to think that we expect them to be perfect, because there is only one perfect person and they're not on earth, okay? So yes, encourage them, let them know what you see in them, you believe in them, you know that they can do exceedingly abundantly, whatever God gives them the skills and purpose to do. And that's what you want to see them do. You don't expect them to be a novelist, just perfect at everything, because when God gives out skills, he doesn't give one person all the skills. He doles them out to different people. Yes, you may have one or two or three, sometimes four, but you're not going to have every skill. And those that you have, you're not going to ace them all. So again, encourage, let them know that you love them, you're behind them 100%, but you do not expect them to be perfect. And that's important. Let me spell it correctly. All right. The next one is, because no one is perfect, they're going to make mistakes. They're going to make mistakes. You made mistakes. They've made mistakes before, even though they may have gotten better in some areas, they may make mistakes in other areas. So it's important to teach them that while you may make mistakes, you can overcome them. You can overcome mistakes. And that is one thing that I teach. And when I say mistakes, they can be little mistakes in some people's eyes. You know, some people, regardless, it's going to be big, but they can be small mistakes, but then they could be huge mistakes that made you have to go to the detention center, be incarcerated, get suspended from school, lose a job that you have. But you can overcome those obstacles. If you know you made a mistake, learn from that mistake. What was it that I did that if I had to do it all over again, I would do it differently? Though the world does not come with a huge eraser, or it's not like in the comic strips and the movies where you can, back up and hit rewind and do it a different way. We can't do that. But we can learn and try to show people that, yes, I made a mistake, but I've learned from that and I am trying to do better. And that people need to be forgiving and give you an opportunity to overcome your mistakes. We talk about credibility, and that's going to be the big theme for next month about your credibility. But that's why I say it takes 1 second to ruin a good reputation, why it takes blood, sweat, tears, and years to rebuild one. So yes, you can overcome it. It may take a while, but you can. So don't give up and say, oh, I've blown it for life, and just throw your entire life away. I made one mistake. I'm going to try to build on that. I'm going to overcome it because I can. And then do it. Dads, that's where we need you to step up, show them how they can overcome those mistakes. A lot of times as parents, we tend to try to keep inside us those mistakes we made, the things that we did wrong. We want to keep that inside and don't tell them. But you need to tell them so they can see, oh, so my parents weren't perfect. They did make mistakes, but I see that they're successful now. I see that people respect them now. But if you put on a facade that you have always been perfect, you never made mistakes, then again, you're trying to show them that, oh, well, if my parents were perfect, maybe I need to be perfect too, and I'm not. Or if I make a mistake, they're not going to love me. They're not going to support me because they didn't make any mistakes. So it's important to be transparent and help them to overcome those mistakes. To me, this is a big one because in our society today, there are some parents, some coaches, mentors will tell you, suck it up, son, suck it up. Well, you look like you got about to cry. Man just hit you. I know he hit you with those pads on. What you gonna cry for? Why you got tears in your eyes? Tough it up. Well, if it hurt to the point that it knocked the wind out of them, their head in that helmet hit the ground, that might bring some tears. So when we reflect and say to people, suck it up, don't cry, don't do this, you are messing with their whole facade, their psyche. You're messing them up. Because now how many have almost choked on a knot in your throat because you were trying to do your best not to cry? Been there, done that. It's like, oh my goodness, I'm going to choke. Can't cry. Gotta keep it in. No, you don't do that. You can display your emotions. Guess what? That's why God gave them to us. All of us have emotions. Emotions are a normal reaction. Crying, getting angry, being happy, being motivated, being over the top happy, so happy that you just silly. You're just silly and crying. And it's like, what in the world is going on? Why is this person acting like that? And you just don't know sometimes what is going on. So you have to show them, hey, it's okay. It's okay. If you don't show them that it's okay, then those emotions, they keep them inside and then they fester. Let's just give an example. Someone loses someone very close to them. It could be a friend, it could be a sibling, a parent. And people say, suck it up, suck it up. When you go in that funeral, just sit down somewhere. Just suck it up. However you feel, you got to let it out somewhere, because if you don't, you're going to be somewhere one day and it's going to break. And you may be in a place where it's not going to be good for you to do that. You might be at work at a meeting and somebody says a certain phrase or a certain song and you just lose it. You don't want to do that. When you have those feelings, you have to let them go. When you get angry, that just makes me so mad. Sometimes you might have to walk and, I need to take a 5-minute, I'll be right back with you. I need to take a 5-minute break. You may need to go outside and scream. Get it out and then be okay. Now, when we take those emotions and we let them linger, that's where the issues come in. But remember, emotions are a thing that God has given us. He gave us emotions. It's okay for us to display them within reason. Now, I'm not saying you get so angry that you go postal. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the little cries, the getting angry, but then you get over it. You get embarrassed, but it's okay. But when you start hitting someone, punching holes through doors and stuff like that, no, I don't mean that. And then you may need some help. But normal emotions are okay. And it's okay for you, and it's best for you to show them. Dads, if you've been telling your sons they shouldn't cry, don't do that. Don't do that. And you might say, well, Coach Deborah, I disagree. Hey, hit me up on DM. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Next one, be candid. Have those candid conversations. Don't hold back on certain things. I'm not going to discuss. I'm going to keep it to myself. Okay, how are they to learn certain things if you don't have those candid conversations? You got to open up and have them. If you don't, what's going to happen? They're going to either make mistakes or they're going to get the information the hard way, or they're going to get the information from their peers who don't know what they're talking about. So again, they're going to get the wrong information. So when I say candid conversations, I mean candid conversations, and I didn't spell it right. When I say candid conversations, that's what I mean. So you have to be honest, be frank. You go to those subjects that you may not want to go to. Are you having sex? Are you thinking about it? Do you know about different diseases? Do you know how you get them? They might say, oh, yeah, I don't want to talk about that. Yeah, y'all talk about it. Y'all get in a place wherever, no distractions, and discuss it so they will know. And if you don't know, if you found out by happenstance and you still didn't ever try to find out why something happened, then you need to get them the right type information. We're living in a time now where we got all the information is readily available. We got to get the information and equip our kids. We don't want them getting married because they think, oh, it's the right thing for me to do, because now we're having a baby. It's not he or I, she, we're having a baby. If they wasn't ready to have no baby, if they're not married, then they need some education. They got a disease, they don't know where they got it from, how they got it, they need to have some information. So you have to have those type candid conversations. You are, if you're a man, you know men. So you can tell your son right things, wrong things. Moms, you know females. You can tell your sons right things, wrong things, what to look for, what to expect. But you have to have those conversations. And with that, closely related to that is being transparent. As I mentioned earlier, you don't want, again, to pretend you always had it. You was the dog back in the day. All the girls wanted you. You were so cute. You could dance so fine. Everything was 100. You didn't make no mistakes. Da 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 da. Be transparent. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. You can only help if you're honest with your kids. Tell them there's no such thing as little white lies. You got to be honest. Give them the 411. They need the correct information. Don't tell them 311. That's the wrong number. They're not going to get what they need. They need 411. They need the information. And that was my next one, is being honest. You got to be honest. Stop trying to hide things. Even if it's your finances, they want certain things. You can't afford to give them to them. You making up these gigantic tales about why they can't have it. Be honest. That's something that would be great right now. We can't afford that. We have to get in a place where we have savings. We have emergency savings. We must spend our money on our needs. Right now, we don't have any cushion in there for a lot of wants. We're going to see a better day, but right now we can't do that. And I want you to understand that. Understand that it's not something that you have to have, because I don't want you going out there trying to get it your way. Wait until we can afford it. It fits in our budget, and we'll get it. Not that I don't think you're worthy of having it, but right now, it's a no for us. And if you give them that love, that involvement, that spending time with them, find some other way to, reciprocate that which you cannot. But one should not take the place of the other, because that presence, your presence, should not get in the way of a present. So if they can't have that present, it should be okay. Because I know you love me because I have your presence. You're always there. So make sure that you're teaching basic principles. And all of this, those basic principles, they go a long way. And when I say basic principles, some people say life skills maybe. But I believe in teaching basic principles. Because basic principles, guess what? I said everything changes. The world is fastly changing. It revolves. It changes every day. But basic principles do not change. You need to train up a child in the way that they should go. And when they get older, they won't depart from it. They may stray a little while. They may get wild, but they're going to come back too. You know what? I know better than this. I was taught better than this. I know. Being respectful of themselves, respecting young ladies, how you're supposed to treat a female, following your 10 commandments, learning a strong Christian foundation, learning to be self-disciplined. That means managing your own life, not depending on anybody else to tell you where you got to be, what you got to do, how you got to do it, when to make an appointment. And then when you're managing your own life, you can do things in a better way. Thinking positive. Always think positive. Not being in a place where all you think about is negative, because we are what we think. So you got to have a positive mindset. You have to set goals. That's why I'm talking so much this year about that blueprint for success. You have got to set goals. You need to know where it is in life you want to go, have a plan to get there, and then put in the work, and you can get there. So teach those basic principles, please, please, please. And there are a lot of things, and I didn't say financial literacy. That's another important one. And a lot of things that years ago they taught in school, they don't teach it anymore. You could learn mechanics, you could learn homemaking, you could learn all this stuff, and they don't have it anymore. But that doesn't mean it's not important. But just because they're not teaching it there does not mean that we have to say, oh, well, if they're not teaching in school, it's not important. We're not going to worry about it. You have to be. You have to equip your children to be what they need to be in their futures, because we're fading out and they're going to be the ones that's managing everything. City government, state government, the country's government, taxes, laws, everything. They're going to be responsible for that. So you got to teach them how to treat people, how to get along with people, how to be in relationships. And, when you have a child and they do something wrong, they did something wrong. You can't sugarcoat it. Well, see what had happened. No, what had happened? Nothing. If they wrong, they're wrong. They in school. If they're wrong, they're wrong. So teach those basic principles, and give them a good Christian foundation. All of that is essential. And so that's what I mean when I say full circle. So I hope that you can see how I started, and I just went around and encompassed everything that they need to know that will make them successful in life. That's what we need to do. And if you join late, that's what I've been talking about this morning is full circle. You got to give them everything they need. And you need to stay on top of your game so that you can be sufficient to provide what they need. And make sure whatever you do to demonstrate giving and receiving love. I'm going to say that one again, and you need to put it in the chat. Make sure whatever you do that you demonstrate giving and receiving love. So I hope that this was a topic that was beneficial, and everything that we talked about this month. If you missed any of the episodes, please go back. They're out there. Facebook, YouTube, Build Your Best Life with Deborah D. Smith. Check them out and take advantage. Well, I'm talking about blueprint for success, and we always have to do what's best for us. So guess what? I'm taking a sabbatical, but that's not for you. That's just for me. Build Your Best Life is still going to be here. It's not going anywhere. So please tune in at your regular times, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Saturdays at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Same content, same everything. Nothing's going to be different. And I'm still going to be reminding you to get on, share. On Tuesday, for Blueprint for Success, we're going to have Coach Ricardo Miller and his guest, Dwight Grant. The topic is going to be 1 second. 1 second. You don't want to miss it. If you know Coach Miller, you know you don't want to miss it. If you have never been in somewhere where he was speaking, you definitely don't want to miss it. So please tune in 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesday. And remember, whatever you do this year, in addition to Blueprint for Success, Build Your Best Life is declaring Jeremiah 29:11 over your lives. And what is that? God wants you to have what? You know what it is? Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. He wants you to have prosperity, not distractions, and the future that you hope for. That's what he wants for you. God only wants the best for you. So please, please, please design your blueprint for success based on the plans that God has for you. Put in the work and build your best life. And remember, building your best life is our business. That's not a slogan, it's our commitment. I love you. Be blessed. Stay safe. Hey, tune in Tuesday. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.